Slept outside in the camper last night to make an early start. Oh, it was cold. So today I'm finishing sealing some panel work. I've been priming. Last night I primed with BRADDITE plus 15% thinners, white spirit, on some of the flooring panels at the front in the cab. I've also fitted this PVC facing the first sheet to the one of the walls of the shower room, and it's currently pressing under 2 sheets of ply and 2 batteries. So I'm going to get that out and see whether the adhesive I've used is strong enough to seal the PVC to the tanking. Last thing I did last night was edge some of the thicker ply with yacht varnish. I think it might need sanding down by the time I've finished it, because there's a little bit of paint overrun in places, but I wanted to get a first coat on because it's one of those arsingly boring jobs that you can't escape, and it does just take time. So I've got a whole lot more to do this morning, which I'll probably do first thing because it'd be nice to get it underway before brunch. Yeah, I'll give you some more updates as we go, but I want to get this panel work in. It's just dragging on. Stuck when it's in a steamy shower room, but that does feel pretty good. So I'm in the cab. I just thought I'd show you quickly how I do the headlining under the clips here at the front, because it's rather clever. So I've managed to jimmy this. This is the back of the headlining material. Jimmy it in under these tabs after prising them open just slightly, and I've just been along now with a hammer, hammering them back after the headlining is underneath. And the next step is simply to apply some spray adhesive and glue the headlining material up above, which should be in place, and then make it all look nice and tidy. I think I've remembered everything. Got these marked up. Okay, let's give it a go. There we go, a bit more orange concealed. chuffing here, so I'm just checking. Seem to be checking it every step whether my measurements are right. Wow. But not the top bit. No! Because the can't see it there. Because top slat is wider, it won't clear the top of the loo. So, panel needs to come out, need to cut higher aperture. The rails need to slide higher up to get over the top of the loo. That might then slightly interfere with that. Well, there's another shout out to Greg Virgo. Perfect timing on watching his video the other night on how to customise your water tank. I've literally just used the jig that he suggested, cut from just a bit of ply, to use as a pilot for drilling a new hole into which my new wider bore fitting will screw. I might even need to do a little bit of plastic welding, but possibly not, because this is cut so cleanly and it's quite thick plastic because of the original weld. I reckon that's going to go in and stay in, to be honest. Oh, I just love it when a thing comes together. It's really annoying when people do a piece to camera from underneath their van, isn't it? But anyway, I thought I'd show you what I'm doing down here. So I mounted this bar because I needed just a little bit extra depth in the brackets to hold this, hold the tank up. Got these U-shaped brackets that come with the tank, and it's just going to clamp round the tank from that ledge onto that mounting point there. So that's the only mod I've done under here, really. I'm using these very cool self-drilling, oops, one down, using these very cool self-drilling bolts, which go in really easy as long as you've got the it's not a hex driver, is it? The right driver. The waste pipes come across very nicely from the other side, from the shower, and there will of course be another hole through the floor here somewhere for the kitchen sink. I just need to cut this now so it mounts on here, and do a temporary mount while I figure out where the drop will come from the sink above. So when it's all bolted up, it will be nice. It's not very big, admittedly, but it will be enough, and it will be nice and out of the way or anything. So there we go, that's my under the van movie. Well, it's such a shame when all the space starts getting used up by the build, but it does mean that it's starting to take shape. And I've just been checking to see whether I can get the bonnet up without too much disruption, and it's just that one piece of flooring that needs to come out the way to get the bonnet up in the cab, so that's very cool. The passenger seat is very heavy to lift out though, with its plinth on, unfortunately. That's the shelf for the CD radio I put in last time I was here. Needs a bit of tidying up still, but you get the gist. And back here we've got wood cut for most panels now. I haven't done the fronts of the showering, but the bed at the back, and this was the exciting trial last time I was here. I actually lay down on it. Maybe I should give you a quick demo. But it'll take my weight for the purposes of it'll take my weight for the purposes of showing you. Okay, so my feet are against the wall, so it is going to be hard for me to stretch, but I am fully stretched out as if I would be sleeping, but of course you curl up anyway, don't you? So there we go, 6'1", 6'1.5" inch man can lie across the back of an LT. I mean, I've done it before, but I wasn't quite so clever with the use of recessed space, so I'll have to see how much colder that makes the arrangement. Very cool though, I think. The corner sink for the bathroom has arrived. This will go here-ish, I'm guessing. It is a little bit weird being able to see in and out of the window though. Might have to consider something to make that a little bit more private. So the Tambour door is in, and it's not fitted around the back, but just to show you how it's supposed to work, it slides up, and then once I've got a handle on the front of the loo, that'll slide out into the shower room like that, ready for use, and then back into its cubby. Pretty good, huh? Just from the other side so you can see the operation. So this will go, when it comes out the channel, it will go into another channel underneath the next shelf. Slides through snug as you like. Back again. Stuff of a madman's dream. So most of the wood is now cut to fit where it's supposed to go, everything except the kitchen, and I'm just planning out how the mechanism on the beds is going to work. So this obviously needs to slide across to meet, sit on top of a bolster, I don't know what you call it. I'm going to pin a piece of wood along there so that this lip can sit on top of it when it's across. But obviously I don't want the whole piece of wood, I just need every other slat, and I'm still trying to figure out how I can do that and have it as a lift up base, so I've still got access to, nothing's fixed yet, but I've still got access to the big storage underneath. And I think as well as that lift up top, I'm probably going to have a couple of doors in, just because all the bed gubbins will be on that side, and there's going to be a wardrobe above, or rather a locker above, so it won't be able to lift up too high. So I'm going to draw a plan on the top for me to cut from. In fact, let's just have a look at the front. The front's going to be a little different because I need to I've got nothing for this edge when it slides out that way. I've got nothing for this edge to rest on. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to have a second panel like this one on the front that is attached to that one. It's going to have to come forward a little bit, and that's attached maybe on a piano hinge or something. On a piano hinge, because when I lift this, ooh, I've got access on that side. Okay, that was worth trying. When I lift this to get access in underneath, other than the door I've got on this side, when this is up, this bit needs to be folded out the way to get into the space below. So just thinking that through now. And then obviously when the bed slats slide forwards, this piece of wood goes with it and becomes the support for the bed at the front there. I'm just wondering whether the piano hinge is a good idea, because it needs to be fairly solid on that end, doesn't it? Okay, keep thinking. Eat your heart out, Euro campers. Who needs a CNC router when you've got a circular drill hole saw? Well,